a proposal which has been accepted by the Union Cabinet. It's got the Union Cabinet nod. We are talking about the Citizenship Amendment Bill. Now, this bill amends the Citizenship Act of 1955. That is what this bill does. It gives exemptions to migrants in select categories. It will grant citizenship for non-Muslim refugees from Pakistan, Bangladesh and Afghanistan. It will make the following people: Hindus, Christians, Sikhs, Jains, Buddhists and Parsi immigrants eligible for citizenship in this country. Now, before we go any further, let's quickly tell you how and what really is what was the proposal that has got the cabinet nod. The safeguards over here as of this moment is that the bill will protect and preserve culture of Assamese people. That was a huge concern, by the way. It states with the inner line permit will be exempted. That means you can't go and settle there. Autonomous regions under the 6th schedule will also be exempted, which is very, very important to be told at this moment. Now, what is the government stand on this? The government stand is that the bill aims to grant citizenship to minorities who have faced religious persecution in neighboring Islamic countries. That's the government's statement on what is the need for a Citizenship Amendment Bill. The opposition stand is that the bill is contrary to secular principles because it excludes Muslims. This is the opposition's position. Now, a lot has been said, many arguments have been placed in favor and against Citizenship Amendment Bill. In fact, many alliance partners have gone against the government. Let's now quickly tell you what the Constitution says. And we are going to rest the argument in the Constitution. Article 14 in the Constitution of India 1949 says, equality before law. The state shall not deny to any person equality before the law or the equal protection of the laws within the territory of India. Prohibition of discrimination on grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. I am repeating again, prohibition of discrimination on the grounds of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Let me now quickly kickstart this discussion. Pramod Swami, spokesperson of the BJP, joins us from Assam. Colin Gonsalves, he's a lawyer of the Supreme Court, also joins us. Samrat Chaudhary is an author and a journalist, and Desh Ratan Nigam continues to be with us, political analyst. Desh, let me begin with you.
Yes.
Many alliance partners have gone against the Bharatiya Janata Party. You have many people raising basic concerns. Vivek Reddy is also with us. Yes, Vivek, we can hear you. I'm going to come back to you. Desh, many people, whether part of the alliance of the BJP or in the opposition, seem to be saying that this is an attempt to give citizenship on the basis of religion. One religion has been excluded, and this is a violation of the Indian Constitution, Article 14. Yes. How do you respond to this?
See, let me tell you, when we say we the people of India, we talk of our citizens who have given this constitution, and this constitution is given daily to we the people. So the secularism applies to the citizens of this country, and Government of India through Parliament can make law to control the ingress of the outsiders. That is well within their domain.
Correct.
So equality is within the citizens of this country. Any person out there within the territory. It says inside, and this has to be interpreted. It's a question of interpretation. So secularism first applies to the Indian citizens. There should be no, disequality or any kind of discrimination between the people on the basis of religion.
Sure.
So far as outsiders are concerned, yes, Government of India can frame a policy. Yes, there were certain obligations the Government of India took, and in fact the Pakistan government also took at that point of time in 1947 to take care of their own minorities. And now what we see, that when you have the population of minorities in Pakistan or in Bangladesh reducing from 22% to almost 1.5 or 3%, that raises a serious problem. Where do these people go? These are Islamic countries. Muslims are not religiously persecuted out there. It is the others, and who have been running away, or daily we hear the news of girls being kidnapped, being raped out there, forcibly married.
Mr. Deshathan
Now,
Nigam, the point over here is very different. The point is that you have to read the Citizenship Amendment Bill in conjunction with the NRC.
Yes.
With the NRC.
Yes.
So it will appear, and this is a political argument, it will appear that on one hand, you want certain members or members of a certain community to go out because they are illegal immigrants, and you want to get in more migrants from outside. One moment, let me complete my question. One of the arguments that was placed, Mr. Deshathan Nigam, was that these people are draining the resources of this country. They are a drain, they are eating into what is rightfully ours.
Yes.
Now you are getting citizens from other countries to come in on the basis of religion. Whatever happened to that argument of your resources being drained?
Let me tell you, one has to find a balance between your obligations and the resources which were taken by the respective governments in 1947. Yes, where do they go? I have not seen a single country which gives asylum to Hindus, Parsis or Sikhs on the basis of religious persecution. That is very clear. So the only destination that is left for them is India. So the human right aspects plus the resources, they both have to be balanced. Yes, we have problems of resources, there is nobody denying that, but those obligations that in 1947 the two countries gave it to each other to take care of their minorities has to be also kept in mind. And secondly, the minorities in India at that point of time, the Muslim minorities, since the issues of Muslims grew from 9 to 17% almost, and there they reduced from 22 to 1.5 to 3%. Those are the stark statistics. And where do they go? So those were the obligations that India has to keep in mind. And there are just 10 seconds. There are 57 other countries you have to keep in mind which are Islamic countries where they do not take Muslim refugees. Show me any country which is willingly taking Muslim refugees. Islamic countries, I'm asking. 51 only in Organization of Islamic Countries. See Saudi Arabia. Does it take any?
I get your point. Pramod Swami as well as Vivek Reddy are also with us. But before I come to you, Colin Gonzalez, from a legal standpoint, where do you stand on this issue? You know, because there is a political argument and then there is a legal argument. Okay, we'll try. Colin, if you can hear me, I don't know if you can hear me or not, but if you can hear me, what do you think is going to be the legal sanctity of a step like this? Does it violate the Constitution? Is it unconstitutional?
Well, first of all, I think it's going to suffer a constitutional challenge. And I think the government may not fare too well in the Supreme Court if the basis of their discrimination between one set of migrants and the other is that they are persecuted in their parent countries. In Pakistan, you have the Ahmadiyas who have left Pakistan and have come to India, and they are refugees in India. There are the Hazaras from Afghanistan who have left Afghanistan and come to India and are refugees, recognized refugees in India. Then you have the Sri Lankan Tamils who have been here for more than 10 years, even now persecuted in their own country. You have bloggers from Bangladesh who are non-believers of any god, and they've been killed in numbers, and you know. So I think this argument that we are taking in a certain class of people because they are persecuted in their own country and they are basically non-Muslim may not stand up to scrutiny at all in the Supreme Court. So it's discrimination on the basis of religion.
Okay. Samrat Chaudhary, before I come to you, I want to get in Pramod Swami, who is from Assam, because you know one of the things that we have seen, the impact is that many of your alliance partners, Pramod, have gone against the BJP. They feel that the ethnicity is going to take a beating, is going to take a hit. How will you allay those fears?
देखिए, मैं आपको बताना चाहता हूं कि आपने कहा कि हमारे जो अलायंस पार्टनर हैं हमको छोड़ के चले गए, ऐसी बात नहीं है। पंचायत चुनाव के पहले असम गण परिषद ने इस इश्यू पे, कैब के इश्यू पे गठबंधन तोड़ा था कि लोकसभा के पहले वो वापस आ गए और आज वो हमारे गठबंधन के पार्टनर है। और कैब के ऊपर जो कंसर्न थे, जैसे हमारे उसको हमने
Pramod Swami, I'm going to come back to you. There's some problem with your audio. There's a bit of a problem with your audio. We'll fix that and quickly come back to you. Your audio is coming and going. Vivek Reddy, if you can hear me, would you like to take that question? Vivek?
Well, I think, yes, I think from the legal standpoint, Sanket, the problem here is this. The religious persecution was something that Parliament was alive to, and Parliament is entitled to be aware of these things. And if so, the constitution is not like an Egyptian sphinx which just administers equality.
Good Lord, voices of both the BJP spokespersons have gone. This is a technical issue, Mr. Deshratan Nigam. Before you accuse me of not giving the government's point of view, I really wanted to. There is an audio problem. But Samrat Chaudhary, you have heard the arguments that lean towards the government. You have also heard the concerns that have been raised by Mr. Colin Gonsalves. I want to know from you, how much of this, number one, is politics? Because, you know, I fail to read the Citizenship Amendment Bill in isolation. It has to be read and juxtaposed with the NRC debate, right? It seems, or at least the public perception is, that this is a government which is against a particular community, the Muslim community, to be precise.
Right. Hello.
Yeah, Samrat, please carry on.
Yeah. It seems to be, to me, it seems to be a purely political move, because I am unable to understand who this bill is supposed to help at all. Those who came before 1947 are probably, if they are still here, already citizens. Those who were born till 1987 were citizens by birth. Those who have at least one Indian parent till 2004 are citizens also. So I don't understand who this bill is going to help. When the matter was put before the Joint Parliamentary Committee, the then IB director had specified that there are 31,313 migrants from, mainly from Hindu migrants from Pakistan who would be benefited. So I'm not sure who else this is going to help. I see this as purely a political ploy, as a sort of a continuation of the logic of partition, which brings back, unfortunately, the old religious animosities and divides to those parts of India which paid them with blood and treasure for the freedom of India. Basically, partition, India was not divided. Bengal, Punjab and Assam, undivided Assam, suffered partition, and once again it's going to be Bengal and the northeast which are going to suffer the conflict which will arise out of this move.
So are you,
and it's
Mr.
going to
Deshratan
end up
Nigam,
harming the very people that it pretends to help.
Oh, okay. Very, very powerful comment coming from Samrat. Before I quickly go back to Pramod Swami, Vinod Sharma, he's the political editor of Hindustan Times, has a question for you. Today, a lot of people are asking you questions, Mr. Deshratan Nigam. He says, he alleges that you are misinterpreting Article 14 of the Constitution. He says the Citizenship Amendment Bill is an insult to Article 14 of the Constitution that gives right to equality to citizens and non-citizens. All of this in the name of national security, which is a travesty.
So let me answer.
Yeah.
He's not a lawyer, but I am.
Okay.
And I know when I am interpreting the Constitution, I look at various things, and first and foremost is the interest of this nation. When you interpret the Constitution, you have to see what obligations you had in the past and what is the interest of the nation. Yes, keeping resources factor also in mind, and also human rights. When people talk about Ahmadiyyas, Hazaras and Tamils, yes, some of them may not get any citizenship, but they will remain as a Sharanarthi or a refugee here, and those human rights and certain rights they will have as right to life, and Government of India is doing. Yes, political asylums and other asylums have been given to Muslims like Adnan Sami or Taslima Nasreen on extended stay in India. Those are the factors that Government of India has been taken into account. Yes, when I read Article 14, I think Constitution is first for the citizens of this country, and then for the outsiders. There the Parliament can decide who can come into India and who cannot come into India. That is where my earlier arguments that I talked about Muslims being excluded becomes relevant here.
Okay. Okay. I think Mr. Pramod Swami is now with us. Mr. Swami, would you like
Yes.
to respond? Yes.
हाँ, मैं ये कह रहा हूँ कि जिस बात का यहाँ जिक्र किया गया है 1955 का सिटीजनशिप एक्ट जो है जिसको कॉम्युनल बताया जा रहा है, ये 1955 में बना था जिस समय हमारे देश के प्रधानमंत्री नेहरू जी थे और गृह मंत्री हमारे लोग सरदार वल्लभ भाई पटेल थे। और उस समय जब ये सिटीजनशिप एक्ट बना था उसमें इस बात का उल्लेख किया गया था कि पाकिस्तान और अफगानिस्तान में रिलीजियस माइनॉरिटी है, जिससे रिलीजियस माइनॉरिटी का जिक्र किया गया है, उनके ऊपर अगर रिलीजियस परसिक्यूशन होता है और वो भारत वर्ष में आते हैं और सिटीजनशिप के लिए अप्लाई करते हैं तो 11 वर्ष के बाद उनको नागरिकता दी जाएगी। हमने उस 11 वर्ष की अवधि को 6 वर्ष किया है और आज का जो बांग्लादेश है वो उस समय का पूर्वी पाकिस्तान था, तो हमने उसमें इसको शामिल किया गया है। तो अब जहां तक ये कहा जा रहा है कि संविधान की बात कही गई है, तो इसके ऊपर में संविधान पूरी तरह क्लियर है, क्योंकि ये जो हमने जो कार्य किया है ये संविधान सम्मत कार्य किया गया है। ऑलरेडी 1955 का सिटीजनशिप एक्ट है, हमने अमेंडमेंट किया है 11 वर्ष की अवधि को।
नहीं, Pramod ji, the point that you seem to be making, you're saying that it will pass the floor test, which is another question. How will you sail through in the Rajya Sabha? Where are the numbers? But the point is, simply because you are going to pass this with the help of your strength in the Lok Sabha and hopefully Rajya Sabha, does it make it constitutional? The argument over here that Mr. Colin Gonsalves is also saying, it will constantly be an argument of whether it is constitutional or not. Mr. Gonsalves, there's a question that has come in from a viewer, which I think you should take. Samir Khan writes to us on Twitter where he says, what about people who don't follow any religion, but they're still being persecuted? What about them?
1955 का सिटीजनशिप
एक सेकंड प्रमोद जी, question is for Colin Gonsalves.
And the bloggers of Bangladesh. Yeah, I gave you the example just now of the bloggers from Bangladesh, and they were atheists. And the bloggers from Bangladesh were taken as if, they were anti-Islam, they were, anti-religious. And many of them were killed because of the fact that they did not ascribe to any religion and they were atheists. So of course, they also fall in the realm of persecuted people. And if they were to come to India because they were persecuted in Bangladesh, the Indian government would certainly not accept them. So this notion that you're taking persecuted people is partly true, I suppose, but it's a fig leaf for basically excluding a particular community.
Okay, very quickly, I have very little time.
Let me tell you,
10 seconds.
So far as the bloggers and others are concerned, they can be dealt by case-to-case basis and other provisions. And citizenship can be granted in other provisions, but under this they cannot be.
Okay. Thank you so much, gentlemen, for joining us. Hopefully this discussion is going to continue on the Citizenship Amendment Bill, where we are expecting that the government will immediately want to bring this on the floor of the House. How will they go about, number crunching? Have they managed their numbers? I don't know what will happen in the Rajya Sabha, but the larger question or a larger debate around this being constitutional shall remain.